Hey guys, Gino here from Market Movers, and today's video is going to be explaining to you why Nio stock and Tesla stock crashed on Monday this week. So before we get into it, this is not financial advice, this is for entertainment purposes only, and I am not a qualified financial advisor. Please, if you like the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We really appreciate all the support so far, and we'll get straight into the video. So guys, yesterday Tesla and Nio stock both dropped. Nio stock dropped 5.87% and it's down 2.7% in the pre-market as well. So yesterday was the 16th of August. Nio stock, electric car company based in China, doing really well, and they've been very popular the last few months. And they took quite a dive. So if you look at their year to date, they've had quite high highs, low lows. Overall, I actually quite like the company. I don't have anything invested in the company, but I do quite like it, and I know Sam has money invested in it and he quite likes it as well. Great company, they make really nice looking cars. Also, a more popular one is Tesla, so down 4.32% yesterday, down another 1% in the pre-market. Again, Tesla this year has been kind of relatively quiet, but they've had pretty high highs as well. The low lows haven't been major since they've gone up, but they've still been up and down. Took another drop, 4.3%. Why did they do that? It's because of accidents, road traffic accidents. So if we look into this, so why Nio stock is dropping today, this is by the Motley Fool. What happened? So basically, a car crash using the equivalent of autopilot killed a Chinese entrepreneur, and he had his hands-free driving system engaged at the time of the crash. So basically what Tesla and Nio are trying to do, they're trying to do this hands-free driving that you can basically sit down. You're supposed to keep attention. They will make you touch the steering wheel every couple of minutes or whatever. They'll do lots of things to ensure that you're paying attention, but it will let the driving do itself, and it will use sensors to slow you down, speed you up. And it is the way things are going, and it is the future. Even in a lot of cars that aren't these high-tech cars, they still have like lane assist, lane departure assist that will keep you between the white lanes. They'll adjust your steering wheel. They'll have they'll have adaptive cruise control, which will measure the speed of the car in front of you and match you with that speed. All this stuff has been coming for years and years, and it's just coming to fruition now that cars are actually going to probably be able to drive themselves pretty soon. And some of them are. I've seen some great videos of cars driving, Teslas driving from San Diego to LA completely without the driver doing anything, just turning around to putting in the maps where he wanted to go. Anyway, so basically his Nio ES8 crashed on August 12th, and according to his obituary, the navigation on pilot and hands-free highway driving system similar to Tesla's autopilot. The crash was the second fatal accident involving a Nio in the last couple of weeks. Another Nio driver was killed in Shanghai on July 30th in his EC6 as it hit a stone pier and burst into flames. Now, cars bursting into flames obviously doesn't look great, and I'm not desensitized to car crashes, and I know people's lives have been lost in this situation, but that's two car crashes that have happened. Let's just keep that in mind now for now. So it's ensuring the product safety is the main line and bottom line car companies. The editorial hinted that additional regulation of so-called smart electric vehicles may be forthcoming if the companies don't focus more on essential work involving personal safety. So now what? Car accidents happen, of course, but there are two specific issues here that are likely contributing to the move of the stock. Nio's hands-free driving system may be implicated in the most recent accident, and the two incidents have drawn the Chinese government's attention. Now, the Chinese government's attention. The Chinese government hate, I don't know what it is, I don't know why, but they hate successful businesses. I don't know what their problem is. They seem to go on a successful company and they just get on top of it straight away. So a regulatory crackdown on advanced driver assist features wouldn't necessarily be terrible for Nio, if only because its competitors would be equally affected. But the Chinese government's recent actions against DT Global and several other fast-growing startups that drawn its ire seem to have made US auto investors wary of the possibility that governments may make an example of Nio. That's why Nio stock is trading low today. So basically, two car crashes, there's millions of car crashes every year, deaths, accidents, and it's terrible. And it's terrible that 2 people have died because of this. You can't blame Nio cars for people crashing. Now, the autopilot is another thing. Autopilot, if you've ever driven a car on autopilot, you're not supposed to fall asleep. If you listen to Joe Rogan's recent podcast with Andrew Schultz, Andrew Schultz was talking about how him and his 2 buddies drove to Boston in a Tesla. They turned it on autopilot and they all slept for 20 minutes. All 3 of them slept for 20 minutes in the car. What do you expect to happen? Like, now, okay, they were fine, but what do you expect to happen? It's like the Tesla crash that happened a few months ago. They put it on autopilot and they climbed into the back seats of the car and let the car drive itself, and then when it came to a turn, the Tesla couldn't figure out the turn and crashed, and they both died as well. But they were sitting in the back seats of a moving car with no one in the front. It doesn't make any sense. It's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be an assist, like everything else in the car. Like Bluetooth is an assist. There's loads of things that assist a car, and they're trying to make it better and better and better every year. But it's new, and you can't just put all your trust in these machines. I always say to people, a car is only a machine. So you could buy a brand new car, something can still go wrong. It's a lot of moving parts, it's a lot of working parts, and it's a lot of technology built into, for most of the world, a weapon. When you drive a car, you're taking on a responsibility for the people on the road around you and you as well. And for you to trust a car 100% to self-drive is madness. You need to be still keeping an eye, making sure it's doing thing. You have your hands on the wheel. You might not have to move the wheel will still move itself if you're holding it. But you just need to keep an eye on these things. It's not something you can just put your trust in this vehicle and expect it to do exactly what you think it's supposed to do, because they don't tell you to forget about it and fall asleep and eat your breakfast or shave your beard or do your hair or do your makeup. They don't tell you to do any of these things. They tell you need to be alert, you need to keep an eye on the road, and this is an assist. Right. Tesla's autopilot faces US investigation after crash with emergency vehicles. So, investigators review 765,000 vehicles made since 2014. The US government has opened a formal investigation into Tesla's driver's assist system known as autopilots after a series of collisions with parked emergency vehicles. This investigation covers 765,000 vehicles, almost everything that Tesla has sold in the US since the start of 2014 model year. Of the crash identified by the National Highway Traffic System Administration, as part of the investigation, 17 people were injured and 1 was killed. Again, this is terrible. It's terrible that people are dying. It's terrible that people are getting injured. But you don't cover. This was put up. This is on The Guardian, and this was only put up like 16 hours ago. They don't cover up what Hondas have crashed. They don't cover up what BMWs have crashed. They don't cover up the human error that people make that causes car crashes. Now, that's the big issue with autopilot, that I don't know how exactly they're going to figure out. They're trying to make it so safe that I think they don't need to figure it out, but a machine does not have morals, whereas a human does. So if a human's met in a situation, they're in their car, there's a dog on one side of the road, but if they swerve to the other side, they'll hit a car, or they'll hit a wall, or they'll hit whatever, and they decide, right, am I going to hit this thing or am I going to hit this thing? And you morally make that decision. But a machine or a car cannot make a moral decision. It doesn't have morals, so it could easily do the wrong thing in that situation, or if there is a right thing. This is something they're trying to make them so safe that they won't even have to make that decision, and we're years away from it. I don't believe we're that close to it at all. But the thing is, Tesla and Nio are in the spotlight, and they're being used as examples continuously because they're innovative, whereas all the other car crashes, they aren't in the news. They're not coming up on my computer. They're not showing me these things. So it's identified 11 crashes since 2018 in which Tesla's autopilot or traffic-aware cruise control have hit vehicles at scenes where first responders used flashing lights, flares, and an illuminated arrow board or cones wandering. The agencies announced an action Monday. So now they're worried that the lights may be affecting the autopilot. And again, this is something that may be happening now. The investigation covers the entire model lineup, so it covers all the cars, everything from 2014 until now, which is when the autopilot came out. Autopilot has frequently been misused by Tesla drivers who've been caught driving drunk or even riding in the backseat of a car while rolled down a California highway. So this is what I'm speaking about. This is the issue. It's people. the issue here in this line is people. So the investigation, the latest is a series launched by NHTSA, which has opened the last 30 crash investigations involving Tesla cars and is suspected were linked to autopilot. One investigation, 2016 crash, cleared Tesla autopilot of any blame. And that's happened more than once, that the Tesla's autopilot was blamed and then cleared the blame afterwards because someone else did something that they weren't supposed to do. Do I think this is bad for Tesla stock and Nio stock? No. Do I think it's going to matter in the long run that these things happened? It matters. It does matter that people's lives have been lost, but does it matter to the stock and the price of the stock? No. This is all trial and error. This is all going to move forward, and these things come out every day. Would I sell my Tesla stock, or would Sam sell his Nio stock because there was a car crash? Absolutely not. I've seen the same when there was a recall on a Tesla. There was recalls on Tesla a couple months ago and the stock dropped 6%. Every company does recalls on everything. You know, recalls are so common in the car industry because, again, there's so many moving parts and there's so many things that need to be done that it's very common for a mistake to be made. And it doesn't mean that every car has the default. It just means that they're making sure every car doesn't have the default. So, guys, basically, don't panic sell. You know, there's going to be news every day, all the time, but someone is panic selling. That's why the stocks are dropping. They're seeing this, that Nio's autopilot didn't work properly. Sell. I would not sell. I will be holding on to it, and I think Sam is going to be doing exactly the same. It's terrible that lives are lost, but that is the business of cars. Car accidents are very, very common, and you know, maybe Tesla's autopilot does have fault, and I'm sure it does, and I'm sure Nio's one does too. But at the end of the day, if you're driving on the road, you're taking on the responsibility of driving a heavy machinery on a road with other people and other children and other things out on the road with you, and you need to have more common sense than to trust the vehicle to do everything 100% as you think it should, especially on something so new as autopilot, which only came out in the last 5 or 6 years. You need to still be sitting there in the driver's seat, alert all the time. You can't be drunk, you can't be sleeping, you can't be sitting in the back, you can't be watching television, you can't be on your phone. Whatever it is, you need to take responsibility also. And I do think that that governments are going to attack Nio and attack Tesla until this stops happening. So we saw 11 crashes in 5 years and 2 crashes in this year, and all these things are tiny numbers in comparison to what's going on. I just got this up. Road traffic injuries. Approximately 1.3 million people die each year as a result of a road traffic crash. That was came out last month. So 93% of the world's fatalities on the road occurred in low and middle income countries, even though these countries have approximately 60% of the world's vehicles. I don't know if that's not relevant, but either way, guys, that's just my 2 cents on it. I am not being insensitive towards the deaths, and the deaths are obviously terrible, and it's terrible that there was young lives lost. But do I think it's completely Nio and Tesla's fault that these are happening? If you were to blame car companies for every car crash, you would have no car companies, and it's as simple as that. Tesla and Nio are trying very hard to be innovative and be the future of cars, and they're going to produce some amazing things in the future. They already have done some amazing things, and I think trial and error happens. You know, unfortunately, that happens, and just hopefully people can use more common sense and do more things correctly. Don't sit in the back seats, don't drink, and expect your autopilot to get you home. Be smart with it, don't sleep, and hopefully someday then, you know, there'll be a day where this can be 100% hands-free driving, and who knows. But for now, guys, that's my 2 cents. Tesla stock and Nio stock are dropping down. You know, are they looking like buys to me? Not really, they're not that low, but nonetheless, still, they're down anyway. So look, guys, that's it. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Let us know what you think in the comments, and let us know if you own any Tesla or Nio stock. So thank you very much, guys. Talk to you next time.